So, with that, we should be live. Nasim, Elyasi, welcome to the podcast.
So
Thank you for
Frank
coming
Hurley.
on. So you're more well-versed than I in icebreaker questions, is what you were saying?
Yes.
In what way?
I'm in Mr. Hurst's ethic class, and I'm his TA. And since Bible's a heavy subject, we do icebreaker questions every day, and they're really dumb.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good to know.
That's all.
So if one were to formulate an icebreaker question that isn't dumb, how would they go about that?
They're all dumb. That's the catch. They're all stupid.
Okay, so icebreaker questions by definition are dumb.
Yes.
Now no one will ever. This will never happen to me.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't rehearsed it is the issue, but I've intended to rehearse this specific interpersonal scenario that will never happen. If anyone needs to break, hey, do you know how much a polar bear weighs? Enough to break the ice. Blah, blah, blah.
That's a good
I want to
one.
be able to say 2,000 pounds and 200 ounces on average. Females weigh about 1,000.
In gestation, it's about double.
During hibernation, they eat a lot, so then go on a rant about polar bear weight.
That's good.
Yeah, and just completely
But you can't
shut them
do that?
down. Well, I don't know that.
It wouldn't be hard to research.
Yeah, I know. It's a Wikipedia lookup away, but I wouldn't. I would feel bad about giving a fake
Answer?
Yeah, giving a fake answer.
Yeah.
I don't know how much a polar bear weighs.
I don't know either.
And it doesn't.
Well, they're all
break
dead
the
by
ice.
now because of global warming. So.
And they don't break the ice. They walk around on ice. It's either way. It's not.
Their weight evenly distributes on ice.
Yeah, between the four. That's why they have 4 paws.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Not a tail though.
Not a tail.
Do they have tails?
I think they have little nub tails,
That doesn't
right?
count. Yeah.
That's what bears have. Tiny little tails.
Mm-hmm.
They're very dog-like. If you ever watch, if you ever watch a nature documentary with bears in it, they're just they're running around and look at each other like, oh.
Yeah, but then they
one,
kill.
Dogs kill too. They
yeah,
just
but
the dogs are
only
nice
a
to
certain
people.
breed. Oh yeah, I can't say that.
What?
Pit bulls. Pit bull.
Okay, but in a wilderness scenario, most dogs would want if they don't kill
I can
stuff, they're
bet
gonna
you
die.
$5,000 that my dog will not kill anything.
Well, that's because your dog has been raised in a domestic environment.
Yes, true.
So what I'm saying is that dogs need to eat meat to survive.
Yes.
And so if they're in an environment where they're not fed and they can't scavenge for food, they're going to have to kill stuff. That's
like
what
a
they're
squirrel,
built for.
though. Not like other bears.
Well, dogs
This is a great start to this
podcast.
podcast.
Dogs might have to fight other dogs. I mean,
It's true.
that happens, right?
It's true. My dog got attacked by a pit bull.
Oh, geez.
He didn't win.
Oh, no.
Yeah. Thanks for bringing up a sensitive topic, Frank. No.
Great.
So he now has a hole in his neck, but the skin patched it up, but you can feel it.
We used to have chickens many years ago.
I know this story. You tell me this story.
I did?
You told
About
me.
the chicken with the... Why would I tell you
I don't
that
know,
story?
but I know about your chickens.
You don't... How?
I don't know.
Great. Well,
We've known each other for a long time, though, which is kind of crazy.
We have, yeah, since 8th grade.
Mm-hmm.
But we haven't known each other to super
On a
large
chicken
extent.
level, yeah.
On an obscure pet story level.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know you had a dog.
It's kind of offensive, actually.
I didn't know.
Well, I have one.
All right, well now I know.
Well, moving on.
Moving on. Oh, jeez. Those are the things you don't talk about with people: religion, politics, sports, and dogs.
Dogs, yeah.
Yeah.
You can talk about sports because I wouldn't know anything.
Me neither. That's my problem with that. Well, honestly, I talk about
you
religion
should bring
too.
a jock on here.
I know. It would be
like
an
a
interesting...
hyper-religious jock.
Oh yeah.
Me.
Who loves
I'm a
politics.
hyper-religious jock.
I get that politics are contentious.
Of
but
course.
I'll talk about religion all day. And to me, sports is just funny because I know so little about
Me too.
that it's just interesting.
I think the best way to go about those conversations is to use sport metaphors when talking about religion or politics.
Yeah.
So you can say Obama, he was a real home run, and no one knows what you're talking about.
I think a home run that implies that he's good, right?
Yeah, but is he? I don't know about sports. You can ask me.
Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Obama's a line quarter.
There you go. Yeah,
thing.
exactly. And that Donald Trump.
Yeah, that
he's an
Donald
umpire.
Trump.
What does that mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he's real puck and a stick.
Yeah.
Yeah. So the point is that
That was a good intro. I think we got there.
It was a good intro,
yeah.
but the point of an intro is that it segues into the body. You know.
What's your body for this
I don't
podcast?
know.
Oh my God, Frank.
The point is that we're supposed to have a flowing conversation.
Okay.
Do it. Go ahead. I'm not stopping
How
you.
are you doing today?
I'm doing quite well.
It's really hot outside.
Oh no, we've We've devolved into
How
weather
about those gas
conversations.
prices, huh?
Oh no. I hear gold is up.
Yeah. So we're live.
I know we are live.
Yeah,
It's
that's pretty
always,
embarrassing.
What conversations are always better 100% when they're not either being live or recorded.
Why didn't you prepare?
Because that's not the point of the podcast. It's like if
Okay, ask me hard-hitting questions. What do you want to know? You got some good ones in with Josiah and Andreas.
That's true,
You
but
better
they
perform.
evolved naturally. So hard-hitting question. So like if a car's going 90 miles per hour and you're in its path and it starts braking 10 feet away from you, how hard is it going to hit you?
Pretty hard. I'm thinking like 70.
Yeah.
Better than 90.
Mm-hmm.
I'm okay with death though, so that's fine.
You are.
Yeah, I'm really okay.
I'm
Here we go.
not.
You're not okay with death?
Thank you. I'm deathly afraid of death.
Are you really?
Yes.
Why?
I think that most people...
Well, you're not a Christian, so this is interesting.
No, so you're using the Christian excuse.
No.
Christians who say they don't fear death.
No.
No, it's... Okay. Now,
let me talk. Okay, here's the thing. Christians are funny because you'll be like, oh, my grandpa died. And instead of like, I'm so sorry, they're like, good for him. Good for him. He's
Finally.
dead.
Yeah.
They're like,
He had
how nice
Alzheimer's
must that
for
be?
like 10 years. Now he finally gets to remember
Even
him.
if he's 22, they're like, oh, congratulations. I'm so happy for you.
Like,
and that's completely my attitude about death.
Yeah, if Christians say that they don't fear death, I think it's actually the opposite. I don't think that they don't fear death because they're Christian.
We fear it so much that it doesn't register.
Yeah. Well, no, it's not even that. It's because you fear death, you became a Christian. Death is
you think so?
Yeah, because...
Interesting.
So what is death, right?
We don't know.
Well, I think that the best way to define death is the quote-unquote lights out scenario, where your existence and consciousness and what have you completely ceases. Mm-hmm. That does not show up in mainstream Christianity. A lot of Christians will tell you that that's hell, is just lights out. Because
interesting. Actually, this topic has came up like 7 times during this week because we learned about soul sleep. Do you know what that is? Are you familiar with that theory?
No.
So it's basically when you die, Judgment Day and all that stuff, like Revelation. But when you die, you don't go immediately to heaven, or you don't meet Jesus just like that. Mm-hmm. So what happens is that you go into this soul sleep, so you die, you're asleep for that period of time, and then when you wake up, just like when you go to sleep at night, you wake up like no time has passed, then that's Judgment Day.
Okay.
So you wake up on that day.
Yeah. So we're all gonna be, it's not like you get to heaven and then you have to wait.
It's not like a surprise party. You're asleep, and then you get in and there's streamers and like confetti, I don't know what it's called.
Yeah, and then your entire family isn't, because you were the only one that died in some tragic
accident. And they're like, we're proud
wait.
of you, son. Like, you never said that to me before, Dad.
You have to wait 50 years for even your parents
maybe
to finally
200,
get to
who
heaven.
knows?
Yeah, who knows? Maybe. Oh, great. Did that show? No, that didn't show up.
I don't know.
We don't have desktop audio.
I don't know how these work.
No, but, so, yeah, I've heard that before, that, like, that Judgment Day, we all die at different times, but we're all going to wake up at the same time.
Right, because it's a day. It's like Judgment Day.
Yeah, Judgment Day.
Not Judgment Hour, like...
Mm-hmm. And then in Judgment Day, you either go to heaven or...
to hell. Well, depending, Catholics believe in purgatory.
Yeah, or purgatory. But my point is that none of those options are actual death. Actual death is nothing forever. Yeah. Right?
Well, they're body death, right? Like your body dies. Yeah. But the whole point of Christianity is that you're not body, you're soul.
Yeah, but that's avoiding the whole concept of death. Yeah. I think that for a lot of people who are Christians, they say, well, I don't want to die in the way that it actually sucks, because people fear the unknown, and death is the ultimate unknown. Right. When we have no idea what it's like to try to exist in nothing and to perceive nothing. Like when I was a little kid, I used to think about that, how when we die, it's just going to be nothing, and like what's it going to be like to not experience anything. And I would try to imagine it. I was like 5, and I would close my eyes and say, so this is what it's like. That's going to suck. But then I realized,
that's a deep 5-year-old. What was going on when you were 5?
I was pondering death.
Cool.
But what happened was
after watching Sesame Street.
Oh, yeah. The episode where what's-his-name dies, Mr. Hooper.
Yeah. Those commercial breaks were rough for you.
But then I realized, well, wait, no, that's black. That's a thing. Like, darkness is a thing. Mm-hmm. And so I thought, well, then it must be...
But if you can't feel it, is it a thing?
Well, that's the problem. I can feel it. I can see darkness when you close your eyes.
Well, question. By this, phenomenon, by this thing, anything you can feel is not death.
Yes.
Okay, but doesn't that kind of make a better argument for Christianity because it's implied that heaven and hell are like not of this world feelings.
Yes, but it's still the way that people perceive it, at the very least, it's still conscious. You're still living in the sense that stuff still happens. You're still getting input, and you probably get to spit out some output out of that. So
Yeah.
Christians just avert the actual scary scenario of lights out, nothing happens anymore.
Mm-hmm.
To you either it's this big game, and then you either suffer eternally.
Okay, my question then would be: isn't the absolute scarier than the and then the uncertain?
Well, again, back to when I was a little kid still pondering these things. Well, first of all, I used to want to go to hell.
Mm-hmm.
And the reason was that I was told that hell is like burning, it's all hot. And I'm very sensitive to cold, and I'm not very sensitive to hot. And so I thought, well, heaven's all air conditioned. I always hated it when rooms were air conditioned. I would
fake
be
air,
freezing.
it's recycled
air.
air.
Yeah, so I thought heaven was just going to be too cold. I'd be chilly all the time in heaven, so I'd rather go to hell. But beyond that,
that's not good logic, Frank. Continue.
I was 4 years old.
Well, I'm just saying.
Jeez.
If you're addressing the questions, answer them perfectly.
No. So, but okay, I had a point. I think
I don't
probably.
think you did.
No. So what I would rather go to hell than lights out. Because now here's the problem.
Hell, you mean soul sleep or just uncertain?
Hell is supposed to be. Now the Bible talks very little about what hell's actually like. Hell basically doesn't show up in the Old Testament.
No, Jesus talks the most about hell.
Jesus talks about it. But even Jesus dedicates probably 50 words in the whole Bible to hell.
I mean, I'm not sure about. Yeah, okay.
As far as I know, there's the old something and gnashing of teeth line that everybody quotes.
Yes.
Most of the ideas that we have about hell come from Greek mythology. It's like Hades and the underworld.
Right. The river Styx and all that stuff.
Yeah, and so that idea of just lava and fire everywhere, and then the demons have their big bull whips and chain whips, and they're like, get back to work, human.
Yeah.
And you're carrying big old boulders from one side of hell to the other. And Hades is just
laughing loser.
Yeah, exactly.
Shouldn't have called that lady a bitch.
But that, your buddies would still be there. You could still try to sing
you
songs.
You think so?
And
you think that there's communication with your friends in hell?
That's the normal. So now
I think you're just basing this off the Disney movie Hercules.
I know. But my point is that that hell doesn't seem that bad. Sure, it's scorching hot. Sure, you have to do uncomfortable manual labor all the time, but it doesn't seem that bad.
Right.
Let's say that you're totally isolated.
I mean, I think that the way, because you can't really say fire and brimstone, sulfur and horrible gaseous smells, but I think the way that most Christians will identify hell is just the absence of God, right? Isn't that?
Yeah, but what does
I
that
wasn't
mean?
raised in the church. I don't know what I'm talking about. Absence of God just means that you aren't living your perfect life. Not everything's restored in His way.
Oh, so right now.
Yeah, but worse. I don't know.
See, but now, worse. It could still get worse. My point is that let's make hell worse.
No, but this is worse than worse. It's not of this world. That's the point.
Yeah, so it's just unfathomably bad.
Yeah, exactly.
That's still. I don't see how you can say for certain that that's worse than lights out, because the way I see it, the reason why I'm not comfortable with the idea of dying is that I still want the opportunity to do good things and do cool stuff and have a good life. And so if I get diagnosed with some terminal illness tomorrow, I'm gonna be really mad and sad. Mm-hmm. Because
I'm opposite. I'd be so excited. No, I'm serious. I'd be fine.
Watch
me get diagnosed again.
Tons of people say that. It's just a feeling that I've never experienced. Mm-hmm. The idea of being at one with, if I die, who cares? I'm probably fine.
Yeah.
I've never.
I mean, it's probably not a healthy view on things, but I just reach straight apathy at this point. So yeah. But it's fine, not in a bad way. I'm excited. You serve me up some death, You
still want to live, but if you die, it's all good.
I mean, yeah, I guess.
I just think that if we look at all the fears that people have, mm-hmm. most of them, you can actually trace them back. Their origin is the fear of death.
All of them share that root?
I'm not sure about all of them, but mostly.
Most of them. Yeah, that makes sense.
Because think about it, evolutionarily, we're trying to live
I don't believe in that. I'm a Christian.
Why do we have eyebrows?
I don't know why.
Evolutionarily, we're supposed to live long enough to reproduce. And if you die before then you're kind of screwed and you did not fulfill your purpose. in keeping the species going. And so that's why I think it makes sense to fear death. And it as a deathophobe.
Okay, yeah, but like biologically fear death versus like the spiritual, mental state of death. Like most people, when you ask why do you fear death, they're not like, I just want to have offspring. I'm so sad I can't have offspring, you know?
Yeah.
It's more like I want children. I want to love them and raise them.
You
That's like,
just
oh,
wait
you
a
know?
minute.
No. Like, but if you ask someone like, why do you die? They're like, I want to pass my genes down and make the best of my DNA. I don't know. I took AP Bio last year. It was not that great. So, but if like you ask them, why are you afraid of death? They're like, I just want to do good things in this world. I want to go to Harvard.
Yeah,
I want, like I want to help people. Like I don't want to do any of that.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm just saying, like that's what they think.
Yeah, for sure. They want to keep going. They feel like they can still, and of course that it's a oversimplified view to say that our only life purpose is to live long enough to produce offspring. Obviously,
right.
You can help other people in your little tribe of proto-humans. You can go out and hunt and get more food for people. You still have all this opportunity to help others and help yourself.
Yeah.
And I think that's why I don't want to die, is because I want to keep being able to do that. But, oh God, I was going somewhere, I swear.
I don't think you were.
Thanks.
Yeah, you're welcome.
But death. This is
great.
Yeah, I mean, gone up to a great start.
No, we did really well for ourselves. I think it was 3 minutes in and we got into death and
we finally
Christianity.
just got to the most morbid topic we could possibly think of.
No, that's good.
But evolution. Okay, hold on.
I can email Dr. Kirchner. He's just a couple letters away.
That's not why people fear death. That's not why people fear death. Dang it. Okay.
So as we give Frank time to think, what was I gonna say? I don't know either.
I'm not the only one anymore.
I would just like to address that if Jake Gyllenhaal is watching this, I am in love with you, and I know you're busy on Broadway, but like I'm not busy at all. It's my senior year. So if you're watching, I don't know, shoot me an email, I guess. Got your point there, Frank? I had to make my little speech, but did that distracted you more?
Probably.
Okay.
But yeah. I remembered.
Okay, good.
It always has as a deathophobe, it's always annoyed me when people use their lack of a fear of death as a virtue. They're like, I don't fear death.
I'm better than you.
That's such an immature thing to fear.
Is your brain small? Is that why?
Yeah. Oh, what do you? That's like when they say back to sport. Oh, scared of the ball.
Yeah.
You scared of the ball? Yes, I'm scared of the ball.
You a woman? Are you a woman?
People get injuries from balls hitting them all the time. So yeah, in the same way, I think it's totally reasonable to fear death.
I don't think it's unreasonable. I just think it's really interesting how different the views are. Like, okay, I wasn't raised Muslim, but there's Muslims around me, right? Mm-hmm. If someone dies, it's literally the end of the world. People are on their knees, screaming, crying, like hitting themselves because like death hurts that bad, right? Versus Christians are like, peace out, see you in like 20 years, let me get a little soul sleep in there, and then we'll be hanging out, you know, getting coffee in heaven.
Yeah.
But like Muslims, it's really bad. So I mean, it's just interesting to me how differently people think.
Yeah, it's interesting. The more you hear about Islam, the more I realize I kind of think more in line with that.
Oh my God. See,
like,
I can't relate.
Like now I could be totally wrong about this, but in Christianity, if you accept Jesus as your savior, then you receive salvation and eternal life and all that. So it basically just takes faith in believing. Whereas
okay, but that's the thing. Like, are you gonna say the works based of Islam? Is that what you're gonna say? Or no?
Don't they have this cosmic balance scale where all the good things you did weigh down all the bad things, and if the good things outweigh the bad things? Right, but the thing is,
it's not like. Have you seen The Good Place?
No.
Okay, well, I just started watching it, but basically it's the same concept. It's like you helping an old lady across the street plus 10 points, rape and murder minus 10 points. You know, it's like stuff like that.
Yeah.
But Islam, the problem with Islam, it's like, well, I think there's many problems with it. Not to be like disrespectful, you know, I don't want to do that, but like logically it just doesn't make sense for me. But the problem with Islam is that it's works based, yes, but like the works are, I guess, theoretically supposed to get you closer to God, but Allah doesn't. He's not supposed to have a relationship with you. Okay. So you're doing all this work and there's no grace, and Allah doesn't want to have a relationship with you because he's transcendent, you know? So Allah isn't like Jesus. He's like, I'm going to come here, chill for 33 years, get crucified, resurrect, what's up, I'm your God, you know? Allah's just like, I made you. You're the peak of creation, congratulations, like, go do stuff.
So there's like a sense of apathy in the higher
I mean,
powers.
Yeah, but it's also like, why did you create humans? Like, for me, that's my problem with Islam, and also the fact that there's so much cultural blend, and you don't see where the culture begins. I had just said that. You don't see where the culture begins and where the like the religious stuff ends. So it just seems blended together. So that I don't see objective truth. It seems like the objective stuff in Islam is justified by the subjective things.
I always used to wonder about, because they teach you Christian apologetics at Christian school. I always used to wonder, are Muslim apologetics like even worse? Do they try to prove the miracles that Muhammad did, and like the evidence that they put forth is even worse than the ones that the Christian apologetics do? It's just like, are you familiar with that field at all? Is that even a thing? Muslim apologetics?
I have no idea. Okay. I'm not like completely well versed. I do know the basics of Islam. I can get around talking, about it. But I mean, my relatives are Muslim.
Yeah, what I was just gonna say is that I guess the cosmic balance scale of good works versus bad works seems more in line with the default way that I think than mercy and salvation. Maybe I'm just really cynical and evil, but
I don't think it's that way. It's just that it's easier for us to think in terms of plus and minus, right? Versus the underlying causes of things and the mercy and the salvation. Like, those are hard things to believe in. Yeah. Especially me. I haven't been going to church. My family's not Christian. So I wasn't just like, oh, cool. Like, mercy, salvation, and I'm not going to die. I had to, like, think through things. Not to say that people who don't go to church, I mean, people who go to church don't, but it wasn't just an easy idea for me to swallow. Because it kind of, if you ask a little Christian kid, they're like, yeah, Jesus rose from the dead. Yeah. It's like, cool.
And that's just like a fact to them.
Right.
It's just obvious.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've always wondered how many hours, if you tallied up throughout your early childhood or early to mid-childhood into teenage years or whatever, if you got to sleep in on Sunday and then like do stuff before 1 p.m., how much could you accomplish in that time? Like, I've always envied the kids who didn't go to church on Sunday, because you'd think that they'd be designing rocket ships and stuff.
So is your family Christian?
Yeah.
Oh, interesting. I didn't know that.
But yes.
How does that work out for you?
Well, I've never bought the whole Christianity thing. Now, I was just talking earlier about my heaven versus hell thoughts from when I was a small child. I don't think I really took it all that seriously. Yeah. My memories of me being younger and going to church had always been a part of my life. But then the thing is, at Christian churches, they don't get up there and they don't preach and tell you the reasons for why you should believe in the religion. They don't say, well, we have this Tacitus document and the Testimonium Flavium, and they corroborate Jesus's whatever. They just say God exists because no doubt he exists, and this is how you should live your life.
Not to interrupt you, but that was my problem for a long time. I was like, how is everyone this happy and everything's great? That doesn't make sense to me. Like, I want to read the Bible, I want to know the facts, and how I want to learn the information, digest it myself, and then if I get to the place where I'm happy and everything is like joyful and great, then like I'll be in that place. But that doesn't come naturally to me. Yeah. Just going like praise and sing songs and all that stuff. That doesn't come naturally to me.
At white people churches, they play the worst music you could imagine.
Listen, it's a C chord, it's an A minor, and if they throw in an F sharp, hallelujah, okay?
Oh my God.
It's
if they do a secondary dominant,
wow.
I feel like
you're in music theory now.
I am in music theory.
I heard that it's not going well.
Oh, God.
I warned you. I told you.
No, I'm doing okay.
Okay.
Lucas and I are doing okay.
Well, I saw Maddie. Shout out to Maddie Sky. That's her Instagram name. That's her last name. Shout out to Maddie Ackerman. She texted me. She's like, please help me with music theory.
Yeah. Ackerman's getting a lot of help from people, but we are down to 3. We had 7 on the first day of school.
Yeah.
A lot of people.
Yeah.
dropped.
We had 4 people in our class. 5.
Yeah. But anyway, what I was gonna say, we can get back to music theory.
We'll go back to music theory later.
But when I was a little kid going to church, first of all, they make
we really jumped all over the place.
Yeah, they make you stand up. They play the most horrible music you can imagine, and then they tell you all this stuff that they don't present any evidence for. And I was just looking at all these other people with their eyes closed and their right hand up like this, and I was like, you actually believe this stuff? Really, guys? You're like adults.
My experience was that I went to Catholic school, so I would go to Mass every Tuesday. And I know people hated Mass. I was like, it smells good in here. It's kind of dark, kind of ambient. Yeah. and I mean, I go up there. I don't get communion and everything, but it's like, it's fine. It was fine with me. And better music, you know?
Yeah.
So
all the old Latin.
I was fine with Mass. And then when I showed up, oh my God, I vividly remember Jack Wilkins. Do you remember the spiritual emphasis week we had?
I was not here for 7th grade.
8th grade. I think we still had
it. No,
it.
Jack Wilkins wasn't spiritual emphasis
someone else did it. Well, anyway, we had Jack Wilkins spiritual emphasis week, and I'm sitting there, and I vividly remember Barbara's next to me, and Jack Wilkins goes, "Y'all, if you believe in Jesus, just close your eyes and raise your hand." And I'm like looking at all these people. By then, I wasn't like, "Oh, I'm a Christian." Like I would deny it at that point too. I was just looking at all these people, and their hands were raised, and I was like, "What do I do here?" And I'm looking there, and they're giving me side eye, like, "Bro, raise your hand." And I'm sitting there, like, "Okay, I mean, I guess I'll raise my hand." And I'm like shifty eyed, like 7th grade me.
Yeah.
But yeah, it came really difficultly, because I don't know what was going on.
Yeah.
We went from jellyfish songs with Jack Wilkins to raise your hand if you believe in God. No peer pressure, just raise your hand.
Yeah, no. I mean, no pressure, but.
Yeah, so I just
they're all gonna be looking at you.
I wasn't used to that, and it's really cool that people like profess their faith. But I learned very early on, this is just how Christians do it. Mm-hmm. Well, at least like it's part of Monte Vista culture, right?
Yeah.
Very open and very stuff like that.
Very open and about if they're Christian.
Yeah. So it's pretty fun.
And look, now you're the open-minded poster child.
Now I'm the open-minded.
You ascended the ranks.
Welcome. Oh my God. So Mrs. Tarr in her class, she has a poster that says like why people are designated open-minded. Can I cuss?
Yeah.
Okay, I shit you not. This says, "We respect all cultures and values at Monte Vista." I'm like, okay, so I'm on there because I'm a fucking Middle Eastern. Like, what is going on? And it's like, "We respect all values and we appreciate students that respect other values and take." I'm like, you're not calling me a thinker. You're not calling me balanced principle, whatever the hell you want to call it. You put me on there because I'm Persian. There's no other reason. I don't know. I have this image of Holtzcall, like putting it on there, like just call her open-minded. She'll love it, you know? Like I'm messing with me.
Yeah.
Because you were in the class, right?
Yeah.
But I don't know.
You never
Now
know.
I'm the poster child for open-mindedness.
Yeah, now
if your mind is closed, come to me.
I
will
must
put my fingers on your forehead and your third eye.
Open a meth eye is what
and you'll have a scar.
Says.
You'll have a...
I always wanted to do it. Have you ever been in Mr. Song's class?
No.
That's one of his catchphrases. Open your meth eye.
Frick, I think that's racist.
No, it's not racist, and here's why. So I do Russian accent, right? When I want to talk about communism.
Your German one's my favorite. Andres and I love your German
Das
one.
Deutsch accent?
It doesn't even work.
But is it racist? See, first of all, that one's
even not even a good one.
I know, it's not good.
It sucks.
You know what? That was from a freshman year video I did with, where me and Ty, it was an animated video about World War II, and so I was like Hitler's assistant, and he was Hitler. I was like, "Mein Führer, we need to come up with better options for getting rid of das Juden." And he was like, "Tell me the plans now."
It's so bad, I can't handle it.
No, but okay, Russian accent. Is it racist to do Russian accent?
No, but America hates Russia. It's different.
So here's my question. If a white guy was born and raised in South Korea and only spoke Korean, and then by age 20 he had to learn English, would he not have a Korean accent?
He would.
Yeah, he would have a Korean accent, so it's not racist.
But this guy in question isn't white.
So you're the racist one for hearing the cultural influence accent.
I mean, yeah, I don't actually know where I fall on that debate. Like, is it racist or not? But like, I mean, I don't know.
Anyway, I always wanted to make some sort of video or something where you literally open a third eye on your forehead.
If you need me, I'll do it. I'll be your patron saint of open-mindedness.
Will you help me to? Because I don't see math.
I can help you.
It's like some people like the kid.
I got a B- in pre-cal, of course I can help you. Shout out to Mr. Tarr for in my GPA, but man, I love that man.
I think Mr. Tarr said hi to me a couple times.
Talk to him. There's no question about this. You have Mrs. Tarr, right?
I had Mrs. Tarr.
How'd you feel?
I came to appreciate Mrs. Tarr.
Did you like her at the beginning?
No.
You did your video, I remember.
Oh yeah.
Your Kia quizzes video where you impersonated Mrs. Tarr?
Which video where
it's literally a picture of her face and you're speaking as if she's speaking.
Yes, I did that to see if I pitch shifted it up, would it sound better?
Did you pitch shift it?
Yeah, I pitch shifted it by 2 semitones.
Oh, that's good.
So like in the musical.
We're back to music theory.
Yeah, in the musical, all the Mrs. Tarr's parts, I spoke really, I spoke slowly so that I could speed it up, and then it would be the right time. It would be higher pitched.
It does work if you like raise it.
Mm-hmm.
That's funny.
Well, here's
Yeah,
the
your
thing.
musical came out last year, right?
Yeah.
I'll continue. Sorry.
Here's the thing. When you're sitting there in chemistry honors,
I'm in AP chemistry now.
you don't.
Bad decision.
Great.
Yeah, I know.
When you're not learning any chemistry.
I disagree completely.
I didn't learn any chemistry because I was totally checked out the whole time.
That's not my problem. That's yours.
I know it's my problem. I'm not saying that Mrs. Tarr doesn't teach you chemistry. I'm just saying when you are the type of person who doesn't absorb the information, what else is there to learn but to be able to do a Mrs. Tarr impression? Like, that's what I got out of the
If there's
class.
one person to impersonate,
Yeah.
it's her.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, no one can live up to her. Ever.
Sure, yeah.
I hate you.
Great. She's got a lot of job security.
I love her.
Yeah, she's
I have
a super
nothing
nice
bad
person.
to say about any Monte Vista teacher.
You
I love
don't.
the teachers. I have nothing bad
Every
to say.
single one.
Seriously.
What about previous Monte Vista teachers
No.
who don't work here anymore?
No. You want me to talk crap about Mr. T? I'm not gonna betray. I'm not gonna betray Kenneth
No,
Townsend.
I love Mr. Townsend.
I know.
What are you talking about? You said so. You're just
I
overwhelmingly positive.
I promise. Well, just about teachers. I'm very cynical, Frank. You know that.
Yeah, but
Okay.
but that doesn't apply to teachers.
No.
That's interesting. Okay, I guess.
Yeah.
Good.
I'm a softie on that topic.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You sort of feel for them. You don't feel like you're obligated, or you don't feel like they owe you anything.
No.
They're obligated or whatever.
Oh no. Like, I feel like it's truly. They're like, oh, I'll teach.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Who goes into teaching for the money? I mean, come on.
Yeah.
That's my first question.
No. It's a total cliche to say that teachers are overworked and underpaid.
Yes.
But like
it's so true.
It's one of the most important and one of the most difficult jobs and one of the most high stakes jobs you can have, but it's like a bottom tier.
Pay them more than doctors and
class.
lawyers. That's all I'm saying.
If only we had
I knew it was coming.
a governmental system in which capitalism did not dictate
Have you been
people's
following
wages.
the debates?
No.
Oh.
I mean, I've not really.
Why? Your boy's on there.
I heard
your grandfather,
Mr. Sanders. I'm silently cheering for Bernie Sanders.
That's good. He's not silently cheering for himself.
No,
he's very loud
vocal
about it.
Yeah.
Did you know he's the only atheist in Congress?
I did not know that.
Isn't that crazy?
I mean, I'm sure a lot of them say, "Yeah, put me down as a Christian."
Evangelical. Just write it.
Just write it.
I know, but that's crazy.
Mm-hmm.
He's what's it called? A Jew, but like not religious.
He's an atheist Jew.
No, it's not that. It's like a cultural, but oh my god, what's it called? Secular. He's a secular Jew.
Secular Jew.
I don't know if that's right, but I'm saying it. Yeah.
Yeah. So, but he doesn't.
He does
he doesn't
whole
do Jew stuff. He doesn't wear a yarmulke.
I mean, he does Jew stuff, not like really.
Okay. He's not really into it. It's just like part of the tradition.
Yeah, it's just for funsies.
Yeah.
I'm gonna piss off every Jew in the universe. I don't know where that stuff falls, man. I know nothing about Judaism. I mean, I do.
Bit about Islam, a little bit about Christianity.
I'm very diverse. I'm open-minded.
Yeah, open-minded.
Yeah.
I haven't been following the debates.
They're great. They're the best form of entertainment.
I'm sure they are. So, gun to your head.
Mm-hmm.
Who wins? Who? Okay, I'm not gonna say who wins the nomination. Everyone's because what? Joe Biden's.
Biden or Harris. I have my money on Biden or Harris.
Biden or Harris.
Yeah.
Okay, let's just say that you want nothing else but for Donald Trump not to get a second term.
Sure.
Who's your best bet? Who do you vote for? Who do you think will beat Donald Trump?
Here's the thing. I know people are gonna make fun of me, but I love Marianne Williamson.
Okay.
She's insane. I saw a tweet that said Marianne Williamson is doing a great job for someone digesting an edible on live television. And it's so true because she's literally insane. She believes that she's going to use the power of love to harness a win, which is like great, you know, like love. Who doesn't like love? But she thinks like, you've seen Poltergeist?
No.
Okay, well, anyway, Poltergeist, like this, something comes out of the TV and grabs the person. She thinks that love is going to do that. Like, love is literally going to reach out with grubby hands, grab the person, get their vote.
Yeah, just like fully embrace and hug the person.
Like a Bernie hug.
Yeah. Like, we love you, we love you.
Yeah, exactly. That's what she thinks. Mm-hmm. I love her. I know she's insane.
So it worked.
Yeah, I mean, it worked for me. Her love harnessed me. That's all I'm
this is how uninformed I am. When you said Marianne Williamson, it sort of rang a bell, but I could not tell you.
Well, no one knows about her.
Oh, so
I mean, her merch is pink.
Oh.
There you go, right?
Yeah.
Perfect.
Is there like official logo? Like white text?
Yeah,
on pink,
I think it's just like, yeah, it's like white text.
Marianne Williamson, is the I dotted with a heart?
That'd be adorable.
It needs
I'm
to
gonna
be.
DM her.
Yeah, you need to be like, hey, I need to be your graphic designer.
I'm just surprised. This is what I can't get over, that people are supporting Warren wholeheartedly when she was like, I'm Native American.
Yeah.
Just kidding. I'm white. My name's Elizabeth.
Warren.
Yeah, I know. I mean, Trump is, but like the fact that he called her Pocahontas.
That was Donald Trump's one funny tweet.
That's so funny.
Was he the Elizabeth Warren 2020 was Elizabeth Warren 1 2020.
I saw that on his Instagram. It's so funny. Mm-hmm. He really had his best minds on that one.
Yeah, I know.
20 white men are white computers. Guys, what if we put 120th?
He's like, finally someone who's more bottom of the barrel than me, who I can finally get an actually good joke on.
I can't believe I didn't think that would blow over.
Yeah.
The fact that she lied about her race. Can you imagine if, just for a second, what if
like,
someone conservative was like, I'm a 20th black?
Yeah.
Or Native American even. Like, whatever, same race. That would not die down. Mm-hmm. They would kill him. I don't know, like maybe figuratively kill him. But, that wouldn't die down.
Yeah.
But for her, a woman, Democrat nomination, like running, that's crazy. I didn't think it would go through.
Yeah, even I remember hearing about that.
Exactly. It's crazy.
It is pretty crazy.
Yeah.
So what's your election prediction? Do you think Trump's going to take it again?
I don't know. I mean, I probably see Biden or Harris getting the win for the Democratic nomination. I think Trump has a good chance of winning it again.
Well, the thing is,
because think about it. I don't think anyone that voted for Trump in the first place is going to change their mind. Like, they voted for Trump, kind of saw through with his plans, right? Like, he did a good amount of stuff for, like, what he promised. Well, his constituency.
His approval ratings, I don't know anything. His approval ratings are lower than they were, right?
Sure. I don't even know. Like, aren't approval ratings always bad?
Do those just, like, fluctuate by the day based on how people are feeling?
Who took them? CNN or Fox News? No, I don't know. But, I don't know. It's so hard to call.
Yeah.
Because imagine, like,
especially
Biden,
since last
Boomer.
one was a little hard to
Yeah, the last one was a little tough, too. I don't know. I really think it could go either way.
Yeah, do you think that, like, so if Donald Trump wins...
I would just like to endorse Tiffany Kumar right now.
Oh, yeah.
Tiffany Kumar, everyone go vote for her. I don't care if you're watching this in 30 years. She will be your president.
Yes.
Meaning that I will be your Chief Justice.
All right.
I already secured that spot.
I've got to go tell Bryce he's the competition.
No, Bryce is not going to be Chief Justice.
No. Bryce is going to be president. Are you kidding me?
Tiffany's going to win.
Well...
An Indian woman?
Yeah, but, like, Bryce is Bryce.
Yeah, that's true.
He's probably...
Shout out to Bryce.
Shout
out everyone I know.
Like, if Tiffany wins the election, Bryce will still overthrow her and then become emperor of the greater Americas.
Yeah.
I mean, Bryce is... Look, Tiffany...
Bryce would probably buy the Caribbean.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't know why. That's just a Bryce thing to do.
I was just going to say, Tiffany's would be the type to win the election. Bryce would be the type to finally annex Cuba.
I know. Well, like, okay, I want you to think about this. Tiffany has a fleet behind her. Elena, I think, will be Secretary of State. I'm going to be Chief Justice.
People are going to be suspicious that all of her cabinet members came from the same school.
Yes. It's fine.
Okay.
I mean, look at our cabinet right now, okay, man? It's not going well. But, yeah. And then I think Andreas, I don't know why he has some position in there. Shout out to Andreas.
Yeah, Andreas. We love you,
Shout out to Elena. Yeah. But, I mean, we're just going to win. It's going to be great.
Okay.
Yeah. RBG has to die someday, right?
Yeah.
Will she? I think she's cracked all of her ribs. I'm not sure her lungs work at this point.
Yeah.
But, that'd be good for her. I don't know. I should get involved in politics, but don't want to do that.
Well, why don't you want to?
I couldn't. I don't know. I mean, I just don't want to live that life. It seems like a pretty miserable lifestyle.
It looks like the worst job on the
planet. Okay, thank you. I was just wondering. I told you absolute
statements. I cannot imagine being a politician, having the gall to walk up on that podium and be like, we have decided that this is how you have to live your life. These are the rules that we're imposing. Can you...
Yeah, your income, we're taking half of it.
We're
taking half.
Like, how can you live with yourself working for... Not necessarily working for the government. There are a lot of jobs under that. But being a politician... It's like, I hate talking about politics.
I would kill myself. No, I'm not kidding. I would kill myself.
Yeah.
We've already established that I'm not afraid of death. I would kill myself.
Mhm.
Yeah. So I don't want to go into
my
politics for
suicide
that
note would be a
reason.
scathing indictment of the entire system.
Yeah, exactly. It'll just be like, I don't know, manifesto.
Yeah.
I should write a manifesto.
You should write a manifesto.
Yeah, because even if I'm not in politics, like I can write whatever I want.
Anyone can write a manifesto. It's 2019.
Me on Wattpad writing a manifesto.
No, I think that as a Congress person, it's probably a better strategy to there are two options, right? You could try to draft legislation and get signatures and argue for your position, or you could kill yourself in a highly publicized manner. Half the country thinks the Clintons did it. The other half of the country.
Jeffrey Epstein, shout out to. I'm not shouting him out. Sorry.
You could if your suicide note or manifesto has something on it that really calls for change, people would probably pay a lot more attention to that than some bill that you're trying to write.
I don't know. I mean, yeah, manifestos were pretty big back in the day. Maybe I'll just get sent to prison and write one.
Yeah.
Because I'm going to prison. Like, everyone knows that. Whether it's tax evasion or something else.
That's what I have always said, is that if I were to kill myself, I am not joking, I would, like, go on Twitter and YouTube and say, I've got a lot of dirt on the Clintons, guys. And then I'd, like, shoot myself in the back with a shotgun.
You should live stream it.
Well, no, I wouldn't.
Tune into this live stream at 4:20 p.m.
No, I would add myself to the Clinton body count.
You think so?
Yeah, just for kicks, like
just for your name.
The Clintons don't know who I am. It would just be funny. I want to be the first right-handed person to kill themselves with my left hand.
Who's Frank? I mean, Jeff we were close with, but Frank, he wasn't on the island, was he? Yeah, I don't know that much about Jeffrey Epstein. I just think it's funny.
I just know there was a 4chan post made a couple hours before the news broke that he died.
That he died.
Oh, so you're one of like the hardcore.
Have you seen the homeless man? That looks exactly like him.
Is that like the weatherman that looks like Michael Jackson?
No, it's not like that cool. It's like okay. I think the theory is, I could be wrong. I don't know much. They killed a homeless man that looks exactly like him. Like, side profile is spot on, and they framed it as him. Like, he's dead.
I see. So now he escaped to like Valhalla or.
Probably where Tupac and Hitler are.
Yeah,
right?
where the Kennedys all are.
The Kennedys all live.
You know, what's her name? Rosemary Kennedy?
There's a Rosemary?
Yeah, you don't know about Rosemary?
No, I don't know what happened.
So, the official story, right, is that, Rosemary suffered, she was, John and, Ted Kennedy's sister.
Yeah, okay.
She suffered from a lot of mental illnesses, and in the 60s, I think, her dad arranged...
Bad time to be suffering from mental illness.
Yeah, I know. Her dad, check this out. Her dad arranged for her to have a lobotomy, which ultimately wound up
We're back
botched.
to lobotomies. I knew it was going to
come. Lobotomies, that's what I was guilt my mom, if she got mad at me, she's like, okay, fine, Mom, I'll get a lobotomy. I'll change my behavior.
It's fine.
She had a botched lobotomy that took out too much of her brain.
All lobotomies are botched. Let's
no, but, this one was a particularly look, I've never heard of a story of someone being like, yeah, I really struggled with depression, and then I had my lobotomy, and now I'm all better.
Like an infomercial. You're entitled to full compensation.
Yeah, exactly.
Or
like someone talking about a lobotomy, like they talk about a replaced knee bone,
right.
Knee joint or something, where it just made their life better. I know, but this Rosemary Kennedy's lobotomy left her incapacitated. She was in a wheelchair. She couldn't talk. Wow. She had to be fed through a tube, and. Now the conspiracy theory...
They did lobotomies in the 60s?
Oh yeah, they did. They've been doing lobotomies since the Middle Ages.
Right, but I thought that they would have gone out of style by the 60s.
Not yet. Not if you're...
When did they stop?
Not if you're Kennedy, Rich. I don't know.
Oh, that's true. I didn't think about that one.
Well, the theories surrounding it are that that Rosemary wasn't mentally ill. She was just more rebellious, and she wasn't academically inclined her brothers were. And so the botched abortion wasn't...
Whoa, another hot topic! Wow!
Lobotomy, not a...
Good segue, Frank. You really killed it on that one.
Let's play word association. The quote-unquote botched lobotomy wasn't botched. It was just a way to basically to terminate her from tainting the image of the Kennedys and let her fade into obscurity. But here's the ultimate twist of irony, is that in 2005, after being totally incapacitated and being cared for in some sort of home for people with conditions like hers, after 40 years of that, she died of natural causes. She was the first Kennedy to die of natural causes in 2005. Wow. All the other ones, either freak accidents or assassinations. She must have been real old. She must have been in her 50s or 60s or something.
Real old is 50s or 60s?
No. I'm doing it wrong. because I'm thinking John Kennedy died in the 60s.
I love how you call him John.
I call everyone.
JFK.
I call Lyndon B. Johnson Lyndon Johnson. I call Ulysses S. Grant
No, the
Ulysses
Baines is
Grant.
important.
No, I don't do middle names
I love
for
LBJ.
presidents. No, he's just LJ.
Oh my god.
Okay, I totally did my math wrong. She was way older than 50,
She
60.
was, yeah.
Right. Yeah, but everyone else, like John's older brother, died in a plane crash. Right, and then Ted died or some.
I don't know. There's like
he's like the car crash or something.
I think
like
yeah.
that.
One of them was car crash.
Yeah, with the National Lampoon ad for the.
Oh, that's not real. That's real.
No, it was a joke.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. I'm like, what are you talking about?
And Rosemary was the first one of that.
That's crazy.
Privileged.
What's your theory?
Poor family. Well, do I think she was genuinely mentally ill? I don't know. It could go either way.
Natural causes? I don't think if you've had a lobotomy at any point in your life that your death is a natural cause.
No, but she lived for a really long time. She had a lobotomy. I scratched 60s, probably more like, because John was like in his 40s in the 60s. John. His name's John.
Yeah, he was in his 40s. That's what I was thinking too.
Yeah. So I was thinking they were all born in the 60s. I was doing it completely wrong. Yeah. But she lived for a really long time in that post-lobotomy state, so I don't think that was the cause of her death.
Right. That makes sense. I don't know. This is the first time hearing about it, but yeah.
So,
how did we get to lobotomy?
Speaking of John F. Kennedy...
When did we mention John F. Kennedy?
Who killed him?
Oh my god, I don't know. What was the guy's name?
God. Come on, how am I blanking on this? Lee Harvey Oswald.
There you go. I don't know who killed him. I guess Lee Harvey Oswald, I guess. I don't know.
You're lone shooter, magic bullet.
Yeah.
You're one of the conformists. You're one of the 30%.
What's your theory?
I don't know.
That was underwhelming.
No, I honestly think I talked about this with Andreas, which is why unless you had
Shout out to Andreas.
Shout out
to Andreas. I got a higher score on my ethics quiz, and we got the same grade in our calc quiz. Thank you so much.
Unless you had some sort of like wild theory about John F.
I don't
Kennedy.
have any wild theory. I don't know. I never got big into the JFK thing.
Well, okay,
I know it was traumatic.
Which ones did you get big into?
I don't know. I feel
Are
like
you
I've
a 9/11 truther?
I mean, the whole Bush did 9/11. Like Justin Bieber said it, so.
Oh.
There's one person to believe it's
him,
right?
That's ethos.
Yeah, it really is. But like pathos too, because like Justin Bieber. Baby, oh, you know, it's just like
baby,
really,
baby.
really,
Like, baby.
Oh, yeah.
No.
Exactly.
Yes. Do you have any conspiracy theories for me? Like that's.
I
always...
feel like I was way into them before. But I know. I'm sorry. I'm boring.
What happened?
I don't know.
Yeah, I've always loved conspiracy theories, but I believe in so few of them.
Exactly. So like it's fun for me for like an hour to look into them.
Oh yeah, there's nothing more fun than like finding out all the reasons why the mafia killed John F. Kennedy or something like that. But then you look at it from a more macro viewpoint, and it's hard to really swallow.
And it's hard for me to spend so much time on them, because there's no like consistent train of thought. Yeah. So it's like, you know, Nemo was a flat earther there for a while. We don't talk about that one.
Did he have compelling arguments?
No! It's a flat earth theory.
I'm sure there's
At some point I was like, sure, whatever. It's apathy again. It's a common trend. But,
I believe in the flat earth, whatever you say.
Yeah, whatever you're saying, even
sign
just
on the dotted
leave
line.
me alone.
What does the fine print say? I don't know. Just sign it.
Yeah, the whole Antarctica wall theory was pretty cool.
What's the Antarctica wall?
Oh, so like flat earthers believe that Antarctica doesn't exist. Like it's a wall around the Earth.
Okay. That's pretty cool.
I don't know what the penguins do. Or the polar bears. Back to the polar bears.
Polar
Shout
bears
out to polar bears.
Polar bears only live in the North Pole, actually.
Same thing.
Fact check.
Is that really true?
Yes, that's
They live
true.
in Antarctica?
There are no polar bears in the South Pole.
Someone please check if polar bears live in Antarctica and let us know. Thank you so much.
I guarantee polar bears are a northern hemisphere creature.
You don't know how much they weigh and you're telling me where they live?
Yeah, I think
Frank, you're not credible. You have no ethos here right now. Your first word was, I don't know how much a polar bear weighs. And you're like, bro, they live in the North Pole. It's 100%.
Actually, polar bears' migration habits tend to...
Yeah. You don't know anything.
Okay, but I can still
we don't
talk.
know. No.
I still have a podcast. That counts for something, right?
Thank you so much for having me. Oh, yeah,
Like,
did I
look,
even
there's
thank
a
you for having
microphone in
me? I'm
front
so
of my face.
rude. Yeah.
That means I
Thanks
must
for
know
having
something.
me, Frank. I really appreciate it.
Thank
You don't have
for
any
coming
juicy
on.
things prepared? Any juicy topics?
You need juicy topics?
Yes.
Tomatoes. What do you think of them?
I like them. I know most people have a texture problem. I think they're great.
I don't like tomatoes.
Why? Do you not like mushrooms?
Not really. Mushrooms can work.
You're a plebeian.
In
Shout out to
context-
Estelle, who always says plebeian. She
Mushroom?
mispronounced plebeian as plebeian.
Estelle mispronounced something.
In
Really?
front of Mrs. Martinez, she said plebeian, and Miss Martinez goes, do you mean plebeian? And I was like, oh no, I see my English teacher after 4 years, and this is what I get.
Estelle once said Panama Canal, and I still make fun of her for it.
Estelle, you're stupid, or without it. I know this will be on the internet forever. Estelle, you're dumb. Thank you. That's cool.
Yeah, I don't. Mushrooms can work in certain contexts if they're mixed with
Like
other
what? Like
ingredients.
sautéed?
Yeah, and as a part of something, but just a straight mushroom.
I don't have a problem with
I
that.
love mushrooms because they're fascinating. It's a fascinating.
That's such
kingdom.
a stupid.
Like it's
What?
the animal kingdom. There's the plant kingdom. There's the fungi. I think fungi are totally cool.
Cool.
Have you heard all the different theories about fungal intelligence and stuff like that?
No, educate me.
So they're in a lot of places in the world there are these forests where you'll see mushrooms sprouting out, and you'll see these little like fungal formations and little blocks of actual tangible objects, but underground all the mycelium and the whatnot that actually form the fungus.
Yes, I took AP Bio. I know what mycelium means. Continue.
It's all connected, and these mushrooms aren't just, you don't pick a mushroom. It's like, this is the mushroom. The way that
It's like all in there.
It's all in there.
Yeah.
And so scientists have done a lot of pretty crazy research with mushrooms where they've gotten mushrooms. They put the little spores, and I'm not quite sure what mycelium is, but they put the little
stupid.
They put the little spores in there and they have a bunch of different nodes, which are, I believe this was
Sorry.
It's okay.
It's pretty embarrassing. It's Estelle. I'm
You
giving
can't
her the
call into this
automated. Sorry,
podcast.
I can't talk. Oh, she sent me the truth about polar bears. Okay, thank you, Estelle. Shout out to Estelle again.
Okay, if polar
I
bears
think she's
live,
our one viewer. Estelle, please comment if you're our one viewer.
If polar bears live in Antarctica, I am going to stop doing this podcast.
They live in the Arctic near the North Pole. I'm gonna kill myself. Oh,
Boom.
wait. Oh, no. Penguins live on Antarctica. This is dumb. Thank you so much for your time. Thank you for having me. I'm leaving.
Yeah, thank you for coming on the podcast.
Thank you, Estelle. Estelle, can you tell us how much a polar bear weighs? I would greatly appreciate it.
What I was saying was that they had a bunch of little food nodes that the mushrooms wanted to eat, and they were all of the different stops for the Tokyo subway trains. The subway trains in Tokyo, all the different train stops.
Oh my god, that's cool.
And the mushrooms not the mushrooms, but the little fungal spores came up with a more efficient way to make the little different tracks and get the food back to its main little nexus than the current Tokyo subway system.
That's weird.
It's pretty crazy. So when you consider the fungal intelligence, which we know to some extent exists, and it has the ability to do reasoning like that and come up with an efficient way to do stuff, kind of like how an ant colony.
Right.
One ant is dumb, but a whole ant colony is pretty smart.
Also, if anyone knows how to kill ants, my house is infested with them right now. Thank you so much.
So if they have these estimations for what fungal intelligence is and what per, I don't know, fungus unit, and the processing power of it would be.
Some guy that studies fungi is really pissed right now watching our podcast. It's like, I did not devote 12 years of my life to mushrooms for this.
And so they think Estelle's gonna text us like the truth about mushrooms.
Oh, she's calling. Do I have to answer?
I wish we don't
Estelle,
have
we don't know
calling
how to
technology.
put you in here. Yeah, what happens to your A-push live streams? Oh my god, I forgot about those.
Yeah.
How'd you do on the AP test?
I got a 5.
Good for you, me too.
Yay! 5 Club. We're better than everyone else.
Shout out to Miss Linder. We're shouting out everyone. Okay, wait. On average, polar bears on all fours. Thank you, Estelle. Oh, an adult male polar bear. Are you ready for this one?
Yeah.
Burn it into your brain. Between 775 and 1,200 pounds.
775.
The largest polar bear recorded weighed 2,209 pounds. Females weigh half as much. Thanks, men.
That's just propaganda.
Anyway,
Supported
at
by
only
the patriarchy.
330
That's not real.
to 650 pounds. I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't remember freshman year, but apparently you didn't like women. Talk about it.
I wouldn't characterize it that way.
Wait, you weren't a feminist, is that true?
I still wouldn't call myself a feminist.
Okay, fair.
Because
it
ultimately,
at the true sense of the word, not at the movement, like the, you know.
Because ultimately we define terms by connotation, and so
Yes.
a feminist will say, or a lot of feminists will say that, well, feminism is you believe in equal rights for the genders.
Okay, cool.
And you're like,
why
okay,
is it called
great.
equalist? I'm just wondering.
Why isn't it called?
Yeah, like,
Well,
feminist.
that's the exact question that a lot of non-feminists.
I was tying my shoes the other day and I was like, why isn't it called equal? I swear.
That's the problem. So feminist, it's so it doesn't really mean that. It means that you're actively campaigning for women's rights, and I just don't think that that's a very high priority.
So would you say that you agree with feminism? You're just not a feminist?
Well, feminism is not
Are
a thing.
those sirens?
Those are sirens.
If I die, I would just like to say, Jake Gyllenhaal, this is your last chance to profess your love for me. We're gonna piss off Estelle with all this woman talk.
So yeah, I mean, to preface, like we've established earlier, I'm a total ignoramus.
I don't know.
About
Estelle, how do you?
It smells like it's ignoramus.
Yeah. Sounds like it's plebeian.
It's ignoramus.
Yeah.
I don't know anything. I'm super uninformed. We
knew that.
Yeah. A lot of the I wouldn't now feminism is not a thing that has opinions. It's this broad term that
women don't have opinions. Is that what you're saying?
No, women
are
opinions,
things that don't have opinions.
Dang it! I'm trapped.
I'm
again.
your worst guest because I will spin everything you say.
So it's hard to say that I agree or disagree with feminism. I think that there are a lot of things that would fall under the feminist umbrella, which is a way in modern Western society where there's some sort of bias or discrimination against women or women have it worse.
Yeah.
I think there are a lot of those. There are a lot of those for men too. I'm not going to say that they equally outweigh each other and that it's a total zero-sum game where the playing board's all even. But women's rights for campaigning
women's wrongs
it's just not a top priority of mine, and so
anyone that wants to date Frank, I'm just gonna let you right now he hates women, so
you heard it here
first, folks. Frank
I'm gonna
hates
rename
women.
this podcast.
Frank hates women.
Why women suck.
That's good. Our first guest.
Yeah, you're the first woman on the podcast.
Thank you so much.
Am
I?
You are.
What are your burning questions? I barely qualify as a woman.
Well, first of all,
women don't poop. I'd like to say that right now.
Oh, all right. We're already learning some juicy information.
Yeah, I know. I'm giving you the best.
How does it feel to smash the glass ceiling like that? We're on president number 45
Yeah.
of all dudes.
Yeah.
But only on the 8th podcast, you have become the first woman guest on the
I would
Frank
say
Hurley
I'm
show.
surprised, but I'm so competent that it doesn't even bother me.
Okay, so it's like that's what the Maggie Thatcher fallacy, where the real hardcore feminists who have like really thought through this stuff, they'll say that having these examples of really powerful women who did great things or something like that, or who totally integrated into the male sphere of business or politics or whatever they think women are oppressed against, like Margaret Thatcher, for example, or I don't know, like who's a famous woman who everybody likes, like Sojourner Truth or something like that.
Throwing it back to A-Push.
Well,
you could just want Jackie Kennedy.
Putting them up on some sort of pedestal, or it's saying like, look at this
Speaking
strong,
of
great
women, yeah.
It's actually worse, because then you're saying that they're the exception, not the rule.
Yeah, exactly.
If you placed so much emphasis on women who overcame everything and was actually competent in her job, then you're implying...
there's always some reference to sex when you're talking about a woman. Like, for example, if I say Michelle Obama, like, there's always going to be that one kid who goes, she looks like a man, you know? There's never going to be like, oh, great speech she gave. I don't know, but whatever. Yeah. Like, there's always some tie to sex when speaking about women.
So you don't
Unless the woman's wholly unsexual, like she's not attractive by standards or whatever you want to call it, then, like, at the early point of her career, it's made a big deal, and then it just kind of wavers off.
Mm-hmm. So you think it's not very common to see women and men being treated equally, in the sense that we see a woman. Now I don't want to say in the workplace, because at this point men and women both.
I'm not going to judge your words too harshly, because everything we say is going to sound bad in some way, right?
I've said so many times in this podcast.
I haven't even noticed. I count likes. I don't count ums. I say ums.
The Josh podcast, I said like 8 times a minute.
Were you nervous?
I wasn't even nervous. I talked to Josh all the time.
I know.
I was so not nervous, but I was watching it again, and I was just like, blah, 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 like, blah, 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 like, blah, 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 and I...
Oh my god, she sent us the ignoramus pronunciation. I'm sorry. Okay, it's What is EI? Let's go to YouTube. Yeah, so I think that there is a tendency to sexualize women. I don't think many can argue with that. I don't see a compelling argument that's like, you know, that you don't sexualize women. Ignoramus. We've been saying correctly. Thank you. Shout out to Estelle.
Yes.
Yeah,
keep fact checking us, correcting our pronunciation.
What would we do?
That's ultimately what she.
That's why I'm
should
here
go
to learn
she
about.
She should be like a speech therapist.
I could so see her doing that.
Well, that's if she overcomes all her problems that need speech therapy first. then
oh my god,
inspiring.
so cute.
Oh my god, I said again.
That's okay. I'm not listening. Wow. Hello.
I'm gonna post all my filler words. I'm gonna print out pieces of paper
like
with
blacklist,
just. And I'm gonna have them up there for next podcast. And
I'm
starting, and now I'm gonna be about to say I'm gonna say blah 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 blah. So. Anyway.
Me giving a school presentation. Yeah.
I hate filler words.
I know. I just gave you 3. I too hate filler words.
I as well.
Not only, but also,
about?
I hate filler words. You're talking about women.
Oh yeah, women.
What about
What
them?
are they? What do they do?
I don't know. Seems like they just cook and clean. That was not true. I want to work. Okay. So.
Some employer's gonna see this. Well,
I know. I was like,
she doesn't
think
that she's biologically cut out for this.
Me when I'm Chief Justice, everyone's looking up my name. The first thing is me hating women. I don't hate women. For the record, women are great. Thank you.
I think that. So what you're talking about, the whole freshman year debacle, where it was like the email argument between Ryan and I.
Yes. Oh my God. Yeah. I wasn't even thinking about that.
Do you want me to tell you that story?
Let's hear it. Juicy.
Oh boy.
Okay. Wow.
Okay. So, let's start at the very beginning.
Shall I start you out? Okay. Here. Go.
Oh, thank you. If I wouldn't have started if you hadn't cued me.
Well, I'm your woman. I'm giving you the.
Oh, good. You're keeping me in line.
Yeah, of course. I'm cueing you.
That's women's job. Yeah. We've learned so much on this podcast.
Okay, let me tell you what I know. I know that you sent unsolicited. This is gonna make you sound so bad. I'm so ready.
Yeah.
Today we're tarnishing Frank's reputation on this podcast. I heard that you sent unsolicited emails about women not being great.
That's a little bit of an oversimplification.
Okay.
No, so what happened was, so this might be a little bit of a side of the story where it's like what I would have said closer to when it actually happened.
Okay.
Where it was on a Tuesday morning.
Wow.
Flex was just starting, but it wasn't back in freshman year when we all had to report to our Flex classrooms. It was Tuesday, so there wasn't Flex. So everyone was just chilling outside.
Right.
And
because Tuesdays were Flex days.
Tuesdays
or not Flex days, yeah.
And Estelle and Lucas and I were talking.
Shout out to Estelle.
We're not going to mention Lucas.
Shout out to Lucas. Helps me out with AP Chem every night. Valiant man.
We were talking, and I think remember the chapel venue preview.
Yes.
For the Current.
With the Current, which I went to multiple times. Oh, yeah.
I went to the Current every time.
Is that where it started?
Not really.
Okay.
So on Monday everyone was in the gym.
Yeah.
We had the venue preview for the Current.
Shout out to Josh Davis.
And they had, it was, in retrospect, it was so funny. They had 5 guys and 5 girls. All the girls were Hillary supporters. All the guys were
Oh my
Trump
God,
supporters.
I remember that.
Yeah. What were
Jude
they...
was on there. Jude was on there.
Jude was on there. What were they thinking?
I don't know.
But,
that class was our most politically active class, though.
Yeah, it was the Tuesday afterward, and Estelle and Lucas and I were talking about how kind of dumb that chapel venue was, but how we were still probably going to go to it.
Yeah.
And I said, yeah, and blank said that, and that was stupid, and I forget if it was me or Lucas, but one of us said, and then they mentioned the whole wage gap myth, which of course is annoying.
Oh, I love that.
And Estelle goes, no, but the wage gap is real. Like, women only earn 79 cents.
And then you guys exploded, right?
And we were like, no, it's not. We have evidence to back this up. We should, and somehow we got this idea that we should.
What do you think about the wage gap now?
I have not learned anything about the wage gap since freshman year. My opinion is more or less the same.
Okay.
But let me continue with the story.
Continue.
So, when I was a freshman, now 2016 was a weird year to be a freshman in high school. It was
year.
the most contentious election year.
I shouted to school. I don't know what I was doing. Oh yeah, you're talking about the election.
Yeah.
Okay, continue.
And so I started to become a real big fan of all of these sort of political videos where people would deconstruct like social justice warrior arguments and feminist arguments and stuff like that. And the holy grail of feminist things that have been debunked is the wage gap. The idea that idea that for the same work, women earn like 30% less.
I just think it's vague because I don't know that much about it. Mm-hmm. I mean, I've heard stories of women being like, I didn't get paid that much for this job, which I never really doubted. Mm-hmm. I mean, probably when I was a freshman, I had a hard time believing it. I just wasn't sure. But it's not clear as to whether it's like a salary pay or a... You know, like when you dig into it, it's not a specified thing.
Yeah, I think that's, in retrospect, my first contention with it. And I was very well versed on this in freshman year. I could take every single feminist talking point of the women's soccer team.
Why do you think you focused on women?
I don't know. It's a good question because, well, first of all, we're talking about the wage gap because this was a circumstance that actually came up in my life. Mm-hmm. And feminism, I think overall was just culturally the main target.
It was huge back then.
At that
and it's
time.
Still huge now, but moderately so.
Yeah. And so I can sort of blame society for that, but maybe I was just a sexist asshole. I don't know.
I don't know either.
But what
I don't think you're an asshole.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks for having me on this podcast.
Now that we've gotten that out of the way.
Yeah, no.
So Estelle and Lucas and I had this idea of let's have a debate, and we were gonna organize this debate. It was me and Lucas.
You guys are so dumb. You organized a debate on your own time.
Yeah, there's gonna be me and Lucas versus Estelle on the wage gap. And Estelle said...
You guys are so mean.
And Estelle said, well, I want to have another person. We were like, okay.
Oh, she says it wasn't a class fact check. What are you talking about? The current? Oh, a chapel venue. Okay, continue.
If we said class, that was a slight slip of the tongue.
Can you believe her texting us on our podcast? Like, Estelle, if you would like to be on the podcast, contact Frank.
You said something slightly wrong. Yeah. How dare you?
Nothing about feminism or the wage gap. Just like...
So Estelle goes, okay, well, I want Ryan on my team. Now,
Good choice, Estelle.
Oh, yeah, for sure. At that point, I had never spoken to Ryan.
Really?
Nope. I don't think ever.
Wow.
No, I had.
Were you guys friends in 8th grade? Who were you friends with in 8th grade?
Who was I friends with in 8th grade? Ty, Lucas, Josh, Josiah.
Squad. So like squad now. Was squad back then.
And then well, it had a lot to do with which classes I was in. So I was always in combined class groups with Aki and then Justin T. Porton.
Aki made 8th grade what it was. Shout out to Aki.
Shout out to Brandon Aki.
He really went in on the show.
Was,
I still remember when Mrs. Selk brought out the yoga ball for you, which is probably not actually appropriate. But and then you played bowling with them.
Yes. With the little stools. Oh man.
Oh my god, that class was
bad/good memories.
That was the worst year of my life, I think.
Point is, I wasn't friends with Ryan in 8th grade.
Yeah.
And so I got real excited because this was the chance for me to manifest all these YouTube videos that I'd been watching in real life. I was finally going to
It was a challenge for you.
Yeah, I was finally going to get to prove, because everybody likes to feel like they're smart and to destroy X with facts and logic.
Destroy double X chromosomes.
And so I wanted that moment to be in my life. I thought, well, I'm going to show them that they're wrong and I'm right, because I'm totally right about this.
That's interesting. I don't know if you were just like really enamored with the feminist argument more than like just at an arguing point in your life. Everyone's been there, you know? Yeah. So like maybe it was just an angry point and you wanted to assert in some way.
Yeah, it's probably a combination
Classic
of both.
Man, am I right, ladies?
I think it's probably a combination of both, and what wound up happening is that Estelle didn't want to do the debate.
Estelle chickened out?
Estelle did chicken out. That's totally on her.
On the record.
I have no idea what Ryan's stance on the idea of doing the debate was, because the communication was entirely between Estelle and
think Ryan just really wanted to
quell
be feminist.
The anti-feminism before it got out of hand.
Exactly.
And what happened after that debate was I had this one flagship video that I was gonna at least send to Estelle. That's like, here, this basically deconstructs the whole wage gap argument. If we're not gonna have the debate, at least watch this. And so I sent it to Estelle, and she like watched half of it and then got bored or something. And
Like a woman would.
and then I kept on. I still felt unsatisfied because I wanted this sensation of the debate. And so I remember it was on a Friday. I composed the email, and it was to Ryan Lilienstolpe.
At students.nbcs.
If anyone
wants to
send all your hate mail there.
Love you, Ryan.
subject was wage gap, I think. And then it was a link to that video. It was like 20 minute long wage gap debunked video. And then triggered meme, right? Where it's like some fat feminist woman with a tear going down her eye and it says triggered.
Oh my god. Okay.
And I had my finger hovering over the send button for like 15 minutes. Is this a good idea? Do I really want to do this?
You didn't care. You said it.
No! I swear to God, it was a conundrum for me. But I made the wrong decision and I sent the email. So then,
I honestly can't judge freshmen anyone for anything. I was a completely different person my freshman year.
Like, we all hate freshmen, but I think it's because we hate ourselves when we were freshmen, and so we project
I hate myself every year. Like, every year I'm like, oh, I think I'm a good version of myself. Yeah. Like, junior year me can kill herself.
Yeah, but like freshman year, for me, freshman year was significantly, I think I significantly got a little bit better by sophomore and junior year. Where
I just don't remember. We didn't have classes together freshman year.
We didn't.
No. If I saw freshman walking around, I would kick her in the shin.
All right, good to know.
Yeah. Actually, no, I wasn't horrible. No, I was insufferable.
No, never mind.
Never mind.
And
sophomore year was the worst year of my life.
And so a couple days later, Ryan emails me back, and she's like, I forget what
she hit you with that English. She's a good writer.
Yeah. But I forget what her exact verbiage was. But
not a word, ladies and gentlemen.
It is. Verbiage is a word.
Estelle, if you could check that one and get back to us.
If it's not a word, it's a cool sounding fake word that I will still use, whether it's a word or not.
Cool
has no
sounding.
bearing.
You heard it here first.
And she'd sent her some articles that basically debunked it.
Yeah.
Which, for the sake to back up my freshman year self a little bit, it was one Huffington Post article, and then she gave me other links, but they were just the sources from that Huffington Post article. So she didn't do that much research, but I was the one who sent her the email. Now, for my rationalization of it at the time was that it wasn't out of the blue because we were planning this debate. Not really. Okay. Ryan didn't initiate it. I was the one who was.
She was just kind of roped into it.
Yeah, she just kind of got roped into it, and then this
still sent me a website. Is verbiage a word?
God damn it!
I can't believe she's viewing it still. I would have logged off by now. Not a representation of you, a representation of myself. It's a word. Damn
it. All right, I'm two for two.
I hate myself.
And I've switched from to now.
You're doing really well for yourself.
I've really grown so much on this very podcast. So I see this email, and I did this. Not literally, but I was very excited because I got to compose my own email that cited my own sources.
You know that meme of that guy who's like, and then he gets on the keyboard and just starts yelling?
Yeah,
was that you?
That was me.
Okay.
I wrote like a 1,000-page email. No, not 1,000-page.
1,000-word.
1,000-word
You're an MLA essay?
No, it was pretty informal. And I tried to make it a little bit funny and self-aware.
If it was formal, it would have worked.
I tried to make it a little bit funny and self-aware in the beginning, but being funny and self-aware when you're a freshman just kind of doesn't exist.
Dies out.
So I was just a horrible person, and
God, that we got out.
And I sent her this rebuttal to her rebuttal to my rebuttal.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not gonna call you horrible and a woman hater.
Yeah.
But you are. No, I'm just kidding. Freshman, anyone is tough to, like, speak about.
It's almost like you want to give them some slack because you know they're freshmen.
It's so hard. And not just because, I mean, I don't know about outside factors, but, like, you just don't know who you are.
Yeah.
I wanted to go to UCLA my freshman year. If that's not a representation, then I don't know what is.
So to continue wrap up the story, Ryan sent me an email back. It was like, look, Frank, this is stupid. Don't email me again. Yada, yada, yada.
Did you talk to her after that? Like that year?
I didn't talk to her.
You talked about her behind her back, did you?
Really talk about her.
Yes, you did.
What I did do was worse.
Oh, no, what'd you do?
So we had, pretty shortly after that, there was a project assigned in Bible class with everyone's favorite. You were in my class. You were in 6th grade with Skelly.
I don't remember that.
One of the teachers.
Do you remember when we prayed for Bill O'Reilly?
I don't remember that.
Oh yeah, well we did that.
Oh yeah, no, I do remember that.
It was Jake, Emily, and I. We prayed for Bill O'Reilly and Megan.
Mm-hmm.
Good times.
And I totally remember that. That's a good little thing that
you're a refresher.
Yep.
Yeah.
And so.
What Bible project was it?
So it was the one on coveting, or was it? It was some sort of multi-step project that had a bunch of different components, and one of those
large Google Doc with many boxes.
One of those components could be a video, and I jumped on this opportunity not to be mean to Ryan.
Okay.
I jumped on this opportunity because I wanted to make a South Park parody video that was like South Park animated, and so the video was due in like a week. I was in way over my head, and so the group was me, Lucas, Reed, and Drew Hamilton.
Shout out to Drew
Back
Hamilton.
when he was around, shout out
to Drew. Love him.
And we came up, we started brainstorming for these video ideas. Like that night, I made the character designs. I looked up how to draw South Park characters, and I did it in After Effects, and I was sending it in the little group chat. Like, look guys, this video is going to be totally awesome. We just need to come up with the plot.
Yeah.
We don't have an idea. And so we were trying to think, well, what's funny? What's funny? We couldn't come up with anything. And so...
You're freshman boys. I'm not surprised.
And so we made the brilliant, or not, I shouldn't say we made, I made the brilliant, totally not, totally horrible decision. Well, you know what? Let's make it about... I don't even know. See, I don't like talking about this video because it was bad on a number of levels besides this. But
I'm not going to judge your freshman year video. We've been over this one.
But basically, I thought, well, funny plot component could be Ryan's in the video.
Oh, this is so bad.
And let's have that be a plot point where she's mad at me, and we make fun of her for the fact that she lost the debate, but didn't want to admit
Ryan, on behalf
it.
of Frank, I am so sorry. I love you so much. Did you apologize to her for this already?
What? Oh yeah.
Okay, good.
This is...
Never mind. I rescind my apology.
And so what happened was, and this is another reason why the video was bad, and this might get a little bit technical, but we
the sirens are still going off.
The sirens are still going off.
They're coming to arrest you for being a prick
I
in
know.
the freshman year.
They finally figured out who it was who made that video.
They're like, that's who sent the email.
So that was our idea for the video, and we would go and record lines during the class period, and then I would stay up until
you had a lot of free time freshman year.
I would stay up until well, no, I didn't have a lot of free time. I just neglected to do the actually important homework.
Okay.
And I would stay up really late animating, and we would record lines, and the video came together, and it was gonna be bad, but it made it a lot worse that I had Lucas pitched up is the voice of Ryan. And she goes on like this one little angry rant in the video.
This is why people hate men.
Great. You know what? I'm not even gonna like argue against that now. Like, well, who am I to be in any sort of a position like that to be? Well, actually, feminism is still stupid. I think I just have to like quietly walk backwards.
Tiptoe back. Tiptoe. Get out of here.
So we made this video, and it was due the block day before Thanksgiving break.
Man, you're really date oriented, aren't you? That's crazy.
I tend to remember. Well,
that's cool. I don't.
I used to read Wikipedia all the time and devour facts about stuff. And
not about polar bears, as we pointed out. We looked over the piece.
Yeah, like little historical facts, and I would always like to remember the date or the year that it was. So
yeah,
I guess that's where that came from.
Yeah.
But but the reason why I remember is that it was the weekend before Thanksgiving break, because the night before it was due, I got super sick. I had a cold. I wasn't able to finish the video. I wound up spending the entirety of Thanksgiving break like slowly finishing up the video.
Okay.
I know. I'm such a victim. Everyone feels sorry for me.
Was this the service project?
No, it wasn't the service project. Service project is a totally different story.
We're not going there.
Oh,
we don't have time for that one today, folks.
I'm not even sure if I can remember all the components of the service project story.
I remember half doing my community service, not because I'm a bad person, because it was
truly
hard to do.
I did not do my community service. Well, I did
bad
community
person.
service, but it wasn't valid community service.
What'd
so
you do?
All right,
Like,
we're
I
getting
pet
off
two
on
dogs
we're
on the
getting off on a
street.
real tangent.
Yeah, sorry.
So
Okay, keep going.
that was over spring break. I came up with,
Tangential.
do we want to go on this tangent? Because there are so many, it's such a long story.
Finish your first.
Okay, finish the first story. The story is basically finished. I finished the video, I turn it in, and it's freaking terrible. There are animation errors up the yin-yang. The plot sucks. It's not funny, and worst of all, it's really mean to a person that I barely know on grounds that are completely unjustified.
How was the guilt overcoming this experience?
Well, at that time,
No, like when you realized, like, oh crap, shouldn't have done that one.
it was not fun,
Yeah.
you know? And
At least you apologized, though.
I did apologize.
Very
I
good.
apologized. I mean, well, what was
Profusely, would you say?
Oh yeah, I sent another long email.
Oh my god, that didn't serve you well the
That's
first
how I
time.
roll. No, I send epic emails to
You're
people.
just a Bata Vista administrator. That's all.
But well, the interim period, that's basically the end of the story.
Yeah.
It doesn't have some rousing climax. The interim period in between that and me finally like doing like an actual apology was a little bit weird because Ryan and I both choreographed the homecoming dances. For actually 2 years in between.
Yes.
I sent the apology email in the middle of junior year, and after after
Okay.
that, like Ryan and I had gotten along fine. Like since then, it was basically. In the
I'm really
past at
glad
that
it was
point.
organic though.
Yeah.
It wasn't rushed or anything
No,
like
it
at
wasn't
that time.
rushed. Like,
Self growth, we stand. Good job, Frank.
The email was more the tone of like, hey, I know that this was in the past, but I still feel bad about that. I want to communicate.
Oh
that
my
to
god,
you.
wait, can I go off on a tangent?
Sure.
Okay, so I was taking the SAT. Everyone's favorite Saturday morning activity. And I'm sitting there and I hear this voice go, okay, context. I wasn't a great human in elementary school. Things were going on. I just wasn't the best. But this girl didn't like me. It was like kind of a friendly frenemy thing. And it was like, oh, my grades are better than yours or whatever. Frank's stance, very nice.
Yes.
And I hear this voice behind me. I'm taking the SATs. She goes, anyone have a pencil sharpener? I was like, sure, I have a pencil sharpener. And I look back and it's my childhood bully. And I go, oh my god. And she goes, oh my god. And I said, I know you. She says, I know you too. Really great. So me doing the 65-minute reading question, it's like thinking of this girl in the back. But anyway, so there's a 5-minute break at the end of the reading session. For you those that haven't taken the SAT. Yeah. Take your SATs. Don't
Laggards.
do that. Yeah. Idiots. Your counselors are pissed. So after the thing, I'm sorry, I'm choppy because I don't remember everything, but I turned around and I went, I'm sorry, this is much too late and much too awkward. I just wanted to like apologize for what I did. In elementary school, like it was just a weird time for me. And she goes, okay. I'm not saying this story so that I sound holier now, but it reminded me of that. So she just goes, okay. And I was like, oh, that's cool. She proceeded to ask me for my sharpener a couple more times, which was fine. But anyway, that was like very surprising. Mm-hmm. So that just made me think of that.
Yeah, it's a little bit anticlimactic if you put yourself in the shoes of your younger self.
Totally. And it's like, it doesn't sound like a big deal to anyone at all, unless you're the one saying the story.
Mm-hmm.
But everyone at their own pace.
Yeah.
Everyone's going to learn at their own pace, and you just have to be patient.
Yeah, and so that I just remember there was that intermediate period where Ryan and I we had to collaborate on the homecoming dance, and we like worked together on a couple things, and it just slowly became a matter of, and I never.
It became coexisting, but it bled into friendship, right?
Yeah, and I never really like would say that I ever really like disliked or hated Ryan or something like that. Mm-mm. Even though I obviously had this very contentious sort of relationship with her. But I know that she really did not like me for a long time, and so I feel bad about the fact that that I was such a not good human being.
Honestly, like I said, same. Like no one. I don't think anyone's a good human being in their freshman year. But it's also their
senior year of high school. Or their senior year.
Like we're not doing very well for ourselves. But it's just like, who are you gonna judge and when? Yeah. Like that's why the story of my elementary school frenemy bully person. It's like I don't know. I mean, you say what you want to say out there, and then they're either going to be as receptive or as not receptive as possible. But it's still, I think it's still your job to do. Yeah. Your job to still apologize, and your job to say that I messed up here,
So-
and what they do is what they do.
Yeah. Sometimes I wonder, are there any kids, like little kids, who aren't just total evil sociopaths? Because
Kids I babysit are really nice. Shout out to Carter and Nico. Love you guys. When I'm 25 and riddled with student loan debt,
Estelle,
yeah,
we need
Estelle,
you.
I need your help. Then you can watch this. So shout out to Carter and Nico. Their mom's not gonna be happy. Like, you're prophesizing my kids. Anyway, continue.
Because I just remember, I don't think I really felt empathy for other people when I was younger. I felt empathy for animals. I liked animals, like cats and dogs.
Oh my god.
and stuff.
I could not do that SPCA commercial.
Oh,
Shout out
no.
to Sarah McLachlan. You ruined my life. You also taught me empathy.
But it's been a long journey to really be able to, and I'm still trying, and I'm not good at it, but at least I think I'm conscious of the fact that I need to learn to be able to put myself in other people's shoes and think, how am I affecting the people around me, and how can I work to make the world better for everyone?
At least
not
you're
just
being
me.
conscious about it, though. You know, a lot of people aren't.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah.
Those idiots.
Those
I don't want
idiots.
to be like them. They suck.
If you're like that, you suck.
Yeah. If you're not self-aware...
Look at how good we are.
Hey,
Look
you
at
know,
us.
You know who you are. You're not self-aware.
Look at how wonderful. We are the best human beings.
Yep, we know how much a polar bear weighs.
Exactly.
We know
I know
how to-
everything about everything.
Yep, we know how to pronounce ignoramus.
Plebeian.
Verbiage is a word. We are enlightened
The jury's still out on
beings.
that one. We don't know. But apologize to your enemies.
Yeah.
Even if you
The
didn't
meek
do
will inherit
anything,
the earth.
apologize. The meek shall inherit the earth. Blessed be the poor.
Blessed be the total jerks who are freshmen, so it's okay.
Bless your total jerks, man.
Well, okay, if you're a freshman watching this and you're a total jerk, that's not okay. Don't be a total jerk. But
Try
if,
your hardest,
but
but
if you're like a junior and you were a total jerk when you were a freshman,
clean it up.
It's okay.
Clean.
there's this weird retrospective forgiveness.
If you're
component.
doing it right, every year you're gonna think you suck.
Yeah.
If you're doing it right, because then there's like, listen to Lizzo, she'll help you with self-growth. That's all I have to say about that.
By the way, now I don't want to make any definitive statements because scheduling is not set in stone ever, even when you think it's set in stone. But guess who's scheduled to come on the podcast tomorrow?
Who?
Ryan.
If you guys
Not
talk
tomorrow,
about
next
me,
week.
if you guys talk about me, I'm gonna kill myself. I've threatened to kill myself like 3 times.
It's okay because Nasim doesn't really care about
This is just
dying.
my personality, and I don't care about
Ryan and I
dying.
will talk about whatever we want next
Wait,
week. Not
oh my
tomorrow.
god, this is gonna be fun. Is she your first? No. I was gonna say like she.
She's not the first woman on the podcast.
No,
You beat her to
atheist.
it.
Take that, Ryan. Pff, what's it like being?
What's it
Stupid.
like? Just like going through the glass ceiling without having to break it open.
Yeah, what's it like stepping on my shards of
Yeah.
glass? Yeah. No, that's gonna be fun because you guys see more eye to eye on like issues like religion and all that stuff too.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I have this really utopian like view of how these podcasts should go, where I think the ideal podcast is just 2 people sitting around having a fun, casual conversation about something that's stupid and doesn't really matter.
We talked about religion, politics.
I know, and but ultimately, what I've had to come to grips with, like I did the podcast with Josh a couple weeks ago, and
Shout out
like,
to Josh.
shout out to Josh, and he mentioned not being a Christian anymore, really briefly.
Really good way to announce that
Yeah.
one, buddy.
And I didn't.
Wait,
really,
I thought Josiah said that.
Josiah said it, and well, that's not my point. My point is that it came up in the conversation, but Josh and I talked about other stuff. And
Oh, so but okay, that's different because you're friends.
Yeah, exactly.
Like you've spent that time together on that
yeah,
topic.
but then I end the podcast and I have a bunch of notifications of texts on my iPad, and it's from Bryce and saying, "Talk about God already. Talk about God already. Talk about God already."
Everyone's dying to know.
Yeah, and I realized that it's more of a selfish thing to do to just want to hang out with someone and put live stream it, as opposed to, I think because I have the infrastructure to do a podcast like this, I have the opportunity to give people
Look at this
content.
nature, is it nature? Look at that.
That
What is this?
Guri Dam. Guri Dam. It's
Look
the
at it.
3rd largest dam in the world.
Not the first largest.
No.
Why not the first largest?
It doesn't look as cool.
Anyway, I continue.
And I came to the realization that me wanting to like be like I think that I had a little bit of a hubris involved in doing these podcasts where I thought, well, you know what? Me and some other person just talking about whatever we want for an hour and a half is going to be totally riveting and entertaining.
Okay, but the thing is, like, I don't know, this just might be, like, my tendency. Talking for an hour and a half about anything to anyone always ends up in, like, religion, politics, you know, like, all that big stuff. Because, like, are you going to talk about tomatoes for 2 hours?
Well, if you're really funny and entertaining, you could probably
catch Seth Rogen on the next
podcast. You could probably do, like Nick Mullen could talk about tomatoes for 2 hours and it'd be funny.
Bless him.
Shout out
Nick Mullen, email us if you're
interested.
interested.
To Nick Mullen and Stavros Halkias and Adam Friedland.
Shout out to John Mulaney. We're gonna endorse him right off the bat.
But so I sort of had to think, well, maybe this whole idea that I have that people can just come in and it'll be totally casual, and that's the idea of the podcast, and it's breaking the spirit of the podcast if I come in and I press people on hard-hitting issues. When people want to hear about hard-hitting issues.
It's all we want to hear about.
Yeah, and I have an aversion to hard-hitting issues because I was like a total jerk about it to Ryan in freshman year, and so now I don't like talking about politics anymore and stuff like that. And
you didn't piss me off, Frank.
Moved on. Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. We have low standards here at the F Early Productions.
But
that's your name, right? F Early Productions.
Yeah, that's the channel name from when I was 11.
It's actually now Women Suck. So
yeah, I'm changing the podcast.
We hate women.
And what's my point? My point.
I don't know.
I don't think you had one, Frank.
I don't think you had one. Cut to me.
So yeah, maybe it is better to just start grilling people, sit people down and just start grilling them, because I hate being interrogated. And so I don't want to interrogate people.
Yeah, but on a podcast, it's kind of your job.
Maybe it is a little bit. Maybe it is being a little bit more of a proactive podcast host to be like, so Josh, you were the good Christian kid who's super smart, who we all would say, well, I'm not a Christian, but Josh
we
is
held
a
him
Christian,
to a standard, right?
Yeah.
And that's why I feel like he must be in such a hard place right now.
Oh, he is.
It's
so
tough because you go climbers. God-fearing, wonderful people, everything that is included in the, climber family. So, like, I don't know, my heart goes out to him because that's so hard.
I don't want to talk about Josh's current circumstances on air.
Love you, Josh.
We love you, Josh.
This is more a voicing of my support than me, like, being like, how's Josh doing?
Yeah. What was I going to say?
I don't know.
But like, that's such an interesting circumstance.
I know.
We have this not quite at 180, but we have this really crazy transition into Josh Clymer of all people having this different view of the world and this different.
It could happen to
set
anyone.
Of beliefs.
Anyone.
It could happen to even you. Are at risk of falling away from Christ.
It's worse than mesothelioma. No, it's honestly such a natural progression. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
All the Christians are like, oh, it's just a phase. Just a phase.
He'll go to Biola. He'll find God. He'll come back.
What's uncomfortable is that I've talked with you about Josh not being a Christian on the podcast more than I've talked with Josh on the podcast.
Josh, I am so sorry if this offends you.
What if Josh, he's like a Christian
Josh
again
is
now?
Pissed. He's testing Estelle.
But
we will both talk to Josh separately.
I guess in the future for this podcast, I hope to be more entertaining for people.
I had the worst time of my life.
Great. Well,
it's a wrap.
Like we said, there's always room for improvement.
A lot of room in this case.
Yeah. But I want you, dear viewer, to be along for the journey to see me improve.
Our one viewer is Estelle, by the way. Address her by name.
Estelle, I want you to be here with us as you improve at pronouncing words. And
we only talked about Estelle on this podcast. We didn't even talk about ourselves.
We talked about it. I told a whole vulnerable story about myself being
sorry, I don't do vulnerability.
I said sorry and she said okay. That's the end of the story.
Yeah.
There we go. That's probably number 126.
Estelle, if you're listening, please count.
I should turn this into a green screen whiteboard wall.
Just put there.
Well, no, I should have my tally marks. So I say
That's a good one. So you're just writing on your wall.
Yeah, so eventually the entire thing's covered.
Yeah. That's good.
Anyway, dang it!
What?
I said
Hey, why are you yelling?
Thank you for coming on the podcast.
Thank you so much. This was fun.
I'm getting worse.
He's gonna throw up.
We've hit target duration.
I am just an experiment.
We have achieved optimal durational experience. Now ejecting
Truth
guest.
serum. Oh yeah, there you go.
So, thank you so much for coming on the podcast.
Thanks for having me.
It's been great, and
Fantastic.
if you want
I'm your first woman.
Yes,
signing
if you
off.
want to watch both women and men and non-binary people, probably on this podcast, talk about cool stuff that may be hard-hitting facts, maybe tomatoes and mushrooms.
And mushrooms.
Please tune in every Friday, which
Every Friday.
I will probably do these podcasts every Friday.
No promises made there.
Yeah. And with that,
Goodbye,
I'm going
people.
to click stop.